I would like to welcome you back to Collectively Cambridge. Today we are going to be filming Mr McClarty about his experience on Beat the Chasers. I will now hand over to Louise, who is going to talk more about our sponsorship.
So, as you might have noticed, we're all wearing our new matching fleeces, which were supplied by BM Electrical Wholesaler, our new sponsors. So, they're located in Ballymena, Belfast, Coleraine, and Londonderry, and they are there for all your electrical needs. And we would just like to once again say a big thank you to them for getting behind us.
I would like to welcome you to our very first podcast with a special guest. Mr McClarty is head of drama here at Cambridge House, and he's also Year 9 form teacher. Mr McClarty, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
I'm now going to hand over to Mr Johnson, who will start off with a few questions.
How long have you been a teacher at Cambridge House?
2015. I had my interview at the end of September, and I started on the 1st of October, so that's 6 years now. Yeah, it's flown in.
Where did you teach anywhere before Cambridge House?
I taught at a school in Bushmills, Dundas School, which was a smaller school than this, when I went to 5th year. Before that, I did a lot of subbing in primary schools, here, there and everywhere, because I trained as a drama teacher, but there's not a lot of drama jobs out there, so I just put my CV everywhere I could and ended up doing a lot more primary schools than I did secondary schools. And then a drama job came up and I got it.
So, what has been your favourite moment from your time here at Cambridge House?
Oh, that's hard because every day's brilliant. No, the highlights for me are always going to be something to do with the drama aspect of it. So I think Hairspray was a real highlight. We put on Hairspray here in 2016. And it's a big old show. Mr Sloan, who is behind the camera, he played in our band at that point. And it was a challenging show, and it's got a big powerful message as well. It's just fun, and it was great to get the support of the local community out to see something like that. We've done a couple of shows since. Another really proud moment was the following year. We did a straight play, which hasn't been done here for a long time. A play called Steed Magnolias, and the thing I think I was most proud about that was that it was completely pupil run. It was directed by a pupil. It was put together. They did everything, and it maybe wasn't just as well supported as it's maybe hard to get support for something like a straight play. But to get kids up and doing that and doing it for their own sort of enjoyment and their own drive and enthusiasm, that was amazing. And then we did a little shop of horrors the year after. I think the school shows stand out to me because it's something a bit different. It's a bit extra, I suppose.
Is there any plans for school shows sooner?
Well, COVID and all that. We would like to get back to it. There's no doubt about it. It's something that helps sell a school. It says something. We were this school's such a good school in terms of sport, in terms of support and all those sorts of things. But the arts are important as well, and it sells us and it shows who we are, and it shows that our kids can speak for themselves, they can organise things for themselves, that they've got a voice, and it's so important. So the minute we can do it, we will. But COVID and all that.
So then, what A levels did you study whenever you were back at school?
Oh, this is interesting. I did French, Spanish, and English. But when I went to school, we didn't have a drama department. I went to Korean, and Korean's a good time, not like Ballymena. Has a better football team as well. Don't cut that. Boxing Day. Let's see how Boxing Day goes before we do that. No, we didn't really have drama as such to study. I did it outside of school. Maybe looking back, it would have been a good time to move on and go to a school that did have it, because it was definitely my passion at that time. But you get established in the school. I think it's important to see things through. And I did okay. I wouldn't have got back in here, right enough. Whenever I went to university, it was obvious that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I did a degree in theatre and English. So Spanish and French. I'll not be teaching them anytime soon. It's just been.
What advice would you give to someone studying drama or wanting to study drama?
Right, but the first thing, and it's something that we've worked hard at as a department over the last 6 years, is that we're not training actors. Now we can do that, but the idea that drama is just, that somebody's going to be an actor someday, it's in certain respects ridiculous because we can't have that many actors. Drama is a skill, and therefore it's about presenting yourself and teaching you that it's okay to be who you are and express yourself. And that's what we're looking to do, to give kids a voice, to give people a voice, to say it's okay to be me, and this is my opinion, and this is what I believe in. And even something like this, that they're able to present themselves and talk to people, and the fact that you guys are doing this, did you know you had these drama skills? Yeah, so that's the first thing. But yeah, we have had people to go on to do performing arts courses, and the thing I would say to them is it's not necessarily about talent. You need to have the talent, but more than anything, I suppose like any career, you need to have drive. You need to have like a single focused determination to go for it and to do whatever it takes to get there. And we're always told like, have plan B. I'm like, if you're that passionate about something, why have a plan B? Go for plan A and go and get it. And do it. And if you want to get it, you will get it, you know? So yeah, drive and determination I think is big.
What are some things that you do or are involved in outside of school?
Yeah, I do a lot of amateur dramatics. I've been involved in amateur dramatics for 25 years. And I've played a lot of different parts. Mostly musical theatre, although if you actually pin me down to it, my passion's acting and directing. But you know, local groups tend to do more musicals, so that's how I got into that. I've played loads of parts. I've played Tevier and Fiddler and Edna in Hairspray in drag. But yeah, I've met some amazing people, and like my little drama group down in Portrush, that's like my family. That's like one consistent thing that I've had for 25 years in my life. So it's great. I suppose it's like anybody belonging to a sports team or you know a golf club or their church or something like that. And it does it for me. You know, again, all my best friends are down there. So I've directed a few shows. I'm directing a show, Dancing at Lunasa, a play in May. And it's studied on the A-level curriculum, I believe, in certain places. So you know, hopefully that'll attract a few people to come and see it. So, yeah.
What made you apply for Beat the Chasers?
So I've always had a mind for absolutely useless information. I just retain stuff. It's not useful. I don't have many skills in life except that sometimes when I would go to the odd table quiz, I would be able to pull out a few answers and win a few prizes. And people kept saying, you should go for one of the TV shows, you should go for one of the TV shows. And I think it was because I was sitting in the house one night during lockdown and somebody sent me a link to an application form. I thought, you know what, I'll just go for it. And I think the other thing is it's easy to do now because everybody's got a camera phone, so you always had to film some sort of edition. So I was able to sit there and stay and just film myself going, yeah, you should pick me because I'm this and I'm that and the other. So I suppose it was handiness, but yeah, a lot of people had encouraged me. A very good friend of mine from Ballycastle, she'd been on the chase a few years ago and she kept at me, she kept saying, you should go for that, you should go for that. And I tried once to get on Pointless, believe it or not, and I missed the edition because I was going on holidays. Then I hadn't really tried again, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for something else. So I'll go for I think Beat the Chasers is the biggest one on TV at the minute, maybe apart from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So I thought, just go for it, and didn't expect anything. Didn't expect a thing. And the funny thing I had, maybe I'm going to jump in your next question here, but the funny thing is when they phoned me, I was sitting with my upper sixth class last year, and it was about 10 minutes before the end of the school, and they were sitting working away, and I'm like, I have to take this phone call. So yeah, probably should be fired for that, I don't know. Yeah, I took my phone call, initial phone call when I was in work.
And what's the best bit about Beat the Chasers?
The money. No, it was just an experience. I was in London. I don't know whether you know, but I'm a marathon runner now. I was in London doing a half marathon, and that was always planned. And then it just so happened that when I got through the audition process, that they were recording that week. So I decided to stay on, and I have a friend who works. He works in the West End. He's one of the stage managers in Harry Potter, believe it or not. And I messaged him and said, do you mind if I stay with your floor for a couple of days? Sort of in between the marathon and the filming. The whole experience of the studio, I think, and meeting the other contestants. And the funny thing is the contestants that were filmed on the same day as me, only one of them was shown on TV, one other one, and the other ones weren't. And it's all done out of sequence. But that whole experience, I was actually filmed last on the recording session. So I was able to sit in the audience the whole night and watch it, whereas the guy that was on first, he did his bit and then he went home. But yeah, I think that whole experience of just being in that space, and it's weird because it's simultaneously bigger than you think and smaller than you think. I can't even explain it. You don't actually meet the chasers until you're standing there in front of them. You don't meet Bradley until you're standing there in front of him. It was just a fun experience. It was just one of those things that, in the last few years I've been like, just try things. That's why I've done the marathon running. That's why I've gone out and, got myself a bit fitter and stuff, and just go for things. So go for this and have experiences. And if you want to go back to your question about advice, if you want to do something, go for it. And look to set yourself goals and start smashing them.
Do you think you'll ever go on any other quiz shows?
I wouldn't mind, because it was fun. There's no doubt about it. But I think everybody should have a go at something like that, and nobody should really hog it, I suppose. So I probably will put my name forward for something in the future, but I'll leave it for a while.
Very good.
What made you get into the running then? I know you said you ran a marathon recently there.
What made me get into the running? Again, getting to a certain age and wanting to get fitter. I've got 2 daughters who are 12 and coming 10, and I want to see them grow up and keep myself fit and healthy. And then again, it was just about setting goals, and it was like, well, I can do 5k now, and I can do 5k in a decent time. Can I do a 10k? I've got to a 10k now. Can I do a half marathon? And then the funny thing about the marathon was, I was humming and ahhing about it for a long time, and I was in the staff room one day, and it was Mr. Glass was sitting. He said, I think I should maybe try this. Maybe he says, go for it. He says, you've done enough half marathons. I says, do you know what? I might just. And I literally went down to my room, and I had a free period. It was straight after lunch, and I signed up to it, and I just went, go for it, just do it. I said Mr. Glass next day, do you know what? I signed up for it. And I did train for it. Training was lonely. I probably didn't train as much as I should have. I think I got up to about 17 miles, and then on the day, obviously it's 26.2. But again, that was an experience, because everybody's there to support you and support the other people running, and it's just this big community event. And again, it goes back to that thing: just set yourself a target and go for it and do the work.
Mm-hmm. Was that in London you did the marathon?
Belfast.
Or was Belfast?
Belfast. Did a couple of half marathons. I did one in London, did the Larne one. I'm doing the London one again, but I did the Belfast marathon.
Is there a drama trip going to London?
There is, yeah. Whether it's to do with lockdown or something, we normally take about 20, 30 students. This year we get 70 going. Which is maybe just that thing about, like, we've sat in too long, we need something to do, so that we've got 70 going. We're going to see Hamilton, which has been, I brought Hamilton in at year 10 as one of our things to study, so it's become very popular. It's a hip hop music that's very modern, very, very different, and we're going to see Dear Evan Hansen. So whether Hamilton has had something to do with that, I don't know. And of course the Harry Potter Studios tour is always very popular, so yeah, it's going to be fun.
Good job. We're going to now ask you a few beat the chaser style questions, so you might recognise a few of them, and if you get some all right, Mr. Sloan will throw in a tricky one at the end. If you get some all right.
The music one.
Okay, so the first question is, what fictional bear was called Pastiso when he lived in Peru?
Paddington.
LGW is the 3-letter code for
London
which
Gatwick.
UK airport? Hartlepool lies on which
The
sea?
North Sea.
What organisation looks after Stonehenge and Dover Castle?
Oh, that was the one I got wrong. English Heritage.
Yeah.
Although I am led to believe that National Trust also has something to do with it, and that was the answer I gave on the show.
The Higgs-Boson observation is an episode in what US sitcom?
Big Bang Theory, and I've never watched an episode of The Big Bang Theory, but I knew it because of Mrs. Beatty. So there you go. Yeah.
And what sound signals the start and the end of a boxing match?
Oh, it's a bell.
Yeah.
You got any, Mr. Sloan?
Which member of Oasis is older than Overlane?
No, by about 3 years. Maybe no, 5. He's 5 years older.
47, 52.
There you go. He's 5 years older. I went to see Oasis about 8 times. I was a massive Oasis fan. So there you go.
Thank you very much for coming on to Cambridge, Mr. McClarty. We hope you enjoyed your time. If anyone else wants to join the podcast for another episode, don't be afraid to come and find us. Find Mr. Johnson Technology Suite. Also, thanks very much to Philip for recording and Mr. Stone for helping out today. So, thanks very much.
And now moving on to some announcements. So the last day of term is Tuesday the 21st of December. It'll be a non-uniform day and pupils will finish at 12 noon.
Our medallions have a medallion shield fixture against Friends School in Lisburn on the 8th of January, and we are planning to hold a supporters bus for anyone who would be interested. So if you are interested, come down and see Mr. Johnson and give us your name.
And the winter exams start on the 10th of January for all year groups. Timetables have been sent to your emails and they are also available on the school website.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share.